Hello, YouTube. It is your boy, your Goy, here to represent the Kaiju Gang B3, back with another kicking movie reaction review. Y'all know I love doing found footage movies because found footage is actually one of the few types of movies that actually scares me, right? Found footage scares me. Yesterday I binged horror films. Not a single one spooked me. Uh, I think there was one scare in Hatchet that got me. And I just like horror films, slasher films, monster movies. They don't scare me anymore. I've just become desensitized to them. And I've loved monsters since I was a kid, so monsters don't really scare me in the first place, usually. But I found a film that really scared me. It was dope. It's called Digging Up the Marrow. I've actually wanted to watch this since it came out in 2015, because in 2015 I was on a huge found footage bender. All my friends were. We would get together every weekend and just watch as many found footage movies as we could find. Just the lowest budget, cheesiest stuff. Half of them were Bigfoot. We would just binge the crap out of found footage. And Digging Up the Marrow isn't really typical found footage because it is made. It's kind of a fake. It's a fake documentary. I mean, most found footage is a fake documentary or like people's vacation footage or something. Those are usually the two big ones. This one is actually a legit documentary because it's made by Adam Green. Adam Green, the creator of like Frozen, the horror film Frozen. I think it's horror, and I haven't seen it. And the Hatchet franchise, Adam Green's the creator of Hatchet, which we have reviewed, and we will be reviewing. The next film we do will probably be Hatchet 2, just FYI. I'm actually becoming quite the Adam Green fan, and this is about his production company making a documentary about monsters, real monsters. Let me read you the stuff here. Digging Up the Marrow has 4 stars on Amazon Prime Video, which it definitely deserves. I think that's actually the perfect rating for it, out of 5. On IMDb, it's a 5.8. I think that's a little low. I think it should be a little higher than that. It's an hour and 28 minutes from 2015. It's PG-13, not R. There's no real gore in this or anything. There's no gore like at all. No real gore, anyways. The read-up says, what if the ghastly images and abominations haunting our collective nightmares actually exist? Writer-director Adam Green sets out to make a documentary exploring the tantalizing premise after being contacted by a mysterious man named William Decker, who's played by Ray Wise, and I actually have some things to say about that. Directed by Adam Green, starring Adam Green, Alex Pardee, and Ray Wise. Genres are horror, science fiction, and suspense. All of which it does very well. I also need to watch The Monster Project soon. That's another big one that I need to watch like today. So Adam Green, director of Hatchet, Hatchet 2, Heart Baby Eggplant, Victor Crowley, Chillerama, which looks pretty cool actually, Spiral, Frozen, Hatchet 2 again, Saber. Ray Wise played the part of Decker incredibly well. He hit all the acting beats he needed to hit. He did a great job. However, he's too well known for a found footage movie. He's too well known for a found footage movie. You should have like up and comings or people who aren't known for found footage films. Ray Wise was in Psych, a popular TV show. I recognized Ray Wise personally from RoboCop, one of my favorite action films of all time. Ray Wise was in RoboCop. He's in other recognizable stuff too. Jeepers Creepers 2, The Lazarus Effect. Like, God's Not Dead 2 is pretty popular, even though I didn't see it and will never see it. Um, One Missed Call. He's been in several horror films, which makes him recognizable to a horror audience specifically. So casting him as the lead in a found, well, not necessarily the lead, one of the leads in a found footage movie, maybe not the best idea for immersion. That being said, he did a fantastic job. It's also got Will Barrett and Tom Holland as supporting actors. Uh, yes, that Tom Holland. I didn't see him, so I'm guessing he was one of the monsters. I'm guessing Tom Holland's one of the monsters. And this was before Tom Holland became a household name also. So that, yeah, Tom Holland's in it. But I think I don't know what he plays in this movie. I guess I should look that up. But, okay. So it's produced by Adam Green, Alex Parte, Corey Neal, and Andrew Misko from RLJ Entertainment. And you can watch it for quote-unquote free if you have an Amazon Prime Video membership. And I do actually think this film is underrated. It's very good. So Adam Green plays himself like a horror filmmaker. And it's really easy to relate to his character in this film because his audience is people who grew up loving monsters, who love monsters, and who maybe deep down wish monsters were real. And he plays that because that is who he is as a person. So that, and of course, he's likely playing a character of himself and not how he would really act in these situations. Like, there's a moment in this film where they should have immediately called the police and not run out to the woods. Like, towards the end. There were a couple things I predicted, like that there was something chained up in the locked room. I predicted that. And it's very good. There's not a lot of scares in this movie, but the scares that are in the film are pretty fucking scary. Every moment where you were supposed to be scared in this film, I was scared. Every moment that was supposed to be suspenseful, I was on the edge of my seat. Everywhere I was supposed to be scared, I was scared. I'm not sure that's ever happened to me watching a film. I don't think it's ever happened to me watching a monster movie. I, honest to God, don't think it has. Like, that's high fucking praise for digging up the marrow. You know, just in my opinion. Because I am giving this movie high fucking praise. The monster suits look fantastic. Like, the makeup and everything, it looks fucking great. It does. And it's not edited like a professional documentary. Like, it's, there's a bunch of clips and stuff left in that would have been cut out, like, that would have been cut out in an actual documentary. Like people saying, "Are you recording? Do you want me to stand here?" Like, that would have been cut out in an actual documentary. But it wouldn't have been cut out in a movie that was maybe taped by a studio, but then they figured it was too horrifying to release. And then this footage was found later. And this is just the raw footage of it, which I think is what it is. Because the end of the film kind of implies that this wasn't supposed to be released. And the end of the film is good. I've actually dabbled in found footage myself. I made a found footage show web series for 3 seasons. I still have to film the series finale. Sorry about that. It's called The Slender Happening. I made it back when Slender Man was cool. He's not cool anymore. But I kind of started turning it into a Bigfoot show by the end. So, but digging up the Marrow is supposed to be an actual documentary, but it does sort of become found footage because it implies that it's not supposed to be released at the end. Very cool. It was scary as fuck. I loved this film. I think I'm going to get a physical copy of it. I think I'm going to get a physical copy of it because it was that good. I wanted one when it came out. I never bought it. And I should have. I should have got this when it came out. And I absolutely regret not doing that. 100%. If you are a found footage fan, if you are a Monsters fan, if you like Hatchet or Frozen or any of those horror movies, give this a shot. Because you will like it. Like, on Prime Video, it's free to watch if you have a subscription. And the other formats, you got DVDs from $3.79 and multi-format from $5.95. That's probably like the used prices and stuff without shipping. Underrated film. It's so good. The art in it's incredible. And like any good found footage movie, it doesn't answer all the questions. Like any good found footage movie, it does not answer all the questions. Like, well, I don't want to. Okay, so we're going into some heavy spoilers here. Decker, at the beginning of the movie, pretends like he doesn't have a son, but is very interested in talking about another character's kids. Later, he offhand mentions that he has a son and refuses to talk more about it. I think my theory, and I'm pretty sure I'm correct, is that Decker's son was heavily deformed and became one of the creatures of the Marrow. Because the creatures from the Marrow, it tells you this right at the beginning of the film. This is not a spoiler. The creatures in the Marrow are just deformed human beings that move to live in an underground society where they won't be judged. But living down there, all isolated and everything, kind of warps them in a way. There are many that are just nice and just like to wander around outside at night. And there are some that, because they were rejected when they lived on the surface world and treated horribly, and then they're so isolated when they move that they become violent and monstrous. And some even seem to have, like, deformities that are actually horrific, that really couldn't. Like, there's this one creature, I forget what he's called. Vance, I think, something like that. He has a deformity that just would not be possible, but it's very scary. And you just have to watch Digging Up the Marrow. Adam Green did a fantastic fucking job in all respects. He's not a top-tier actor, but found footage never has top-tier actors. I mean, Ray Wise is actually pretty good. I think he does a fantastic job. But I think... Well, it's so weird, because I think Ray Wise played the part perfectly. I think he did a fantastic job. But it's found footage, and for the sake of immersion, you can't have big names in found footage. This film also kind of serves as a big advertisement for his other movies, because he's doing, it's like from the perspective of a documentary for his real production company. So you see like Hatchet movie posters everywhere and Frozen movie posters everywhere, Chillerama, etc. Which is fine, totally fine. It's actually, in a way, but it's like not in your face like a advertisement would be normally in a movie. So it's actually makes it more immersive having the Hatchet advertisements and stuff there, because you make it feel like it's real. It's outside his other movies. This is something different. This is something real, and that's why these other movies are presented as movies in it, because this is real and it makes it feel real, even though we all know it's not. Even though we all know it's not. Yeah, I was also surprised to find that Tom Holland was in this movie. Yeah. I really need to know what he plays, because we're going to actually go to IMDb and find that out right now, because I did not see his face in the movie, and I'm like, he's got to be one of the creatures, right? He's got to be one of the creatures. Wait, it's a different Tom Holland. Okay, so I'm actually a moron. Okay, if you click Tom Holland on Amazon, it takes you to Tom Holland, the Spider-Man actor. If you click Tom Holland for it on IMDb, which I absolutely trust more, it shows the director and screenwriter. And he was absolutely in the film, even though I'm not super familiar with his work. I did see him in the movie. He was at a convention. He did act in it. Actual acting. So Amazon fooled me. They straight up fooled me. And they put the wrong Tom Holland. They linked the wrong Tom Holland. Okay, so don't trust Amazon on that. Amazon linked the wrong Tom Holland. Look, if you click Tom Holland on... Watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. Okay, I'm actually going to show you this. Look, here we have Digging Up the Marrow. There's the poster so you can recognize it. You scroll down. Supporting actors, Tom Holland. Right there. Click. Spider-Man. So, like, these are all absolutely Tom Holland movies. Like, I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what's up with that. Really tricks you. But 100% you all have to watch Digging Up the Marrow. I give it high marks. I give it real high marks. It even has the found footage cliche of something happening in the background and you could easily miss it and not notice it. Like there's this one scene where they're looking over footage and then they turn to face the camera and talk, and the computer screen's behind them, but the footage is still rolling, and you see a creature crawl out of the marrow and walk around. And it's like, if you're looking at their faces, you could easily miss that. And most people will be drawn to the faces, but that movement catches your eye, and then you're like, it's one of the best found footage movies I've ever seen because it has like a real production value. It isn't just made by a bunch of college kids. That being said, all my found footage projects were made by a bunch of college kids. So I started making The Slender Happening in 2013 when I was in college. I'm still technically in college, but... yeah, that is it for Digging Up the Marrow 2015, directed and starring Adam Green. Great film. I really love it. Definitely check it out. Digging Up the Marrow is a found footage classic, and it's underrated. That's it. Thank you all once again for your support. Be sure to hit that notification bell because we will be reviewing Hatchet 2, maybe Hellraiser 3 very soon. Very soon. That's it. Thank you all once again. See y'all next time.